Ladies and gents, welcome back. Here and Justin Trudeau trying to spin his own words. He likes to spin the truth, but here he is trying to spin his own words, and this is in an interview. The clip here on Twitter from the Real Andy Lee show here. Justin says in a year-end interview with CTV's Omar Sachedina that he doesn't regret his comments calling truckers and demonstrators people who wear tinfoil hats. When people fall into conspiracy theories, we need to call them out on that. And this is a really interesting way in which he phrases all of this. But let's just jump into his own words here.
I think in all my communications, in the frustration that Canadians were feeling, not just around that, but around the pandemic in general, there was a sense that Canadians really stepped up for each other. People went out and got vaccinated to a higher degree than just about any other country. And because of that, we actually had a better and safer pandemic than most people. Yes, we lost far too many people and it was heartbreaking, but we did better than most of the other countries that we can compare to. The fact that there were some people out there who were actively spreading harmful disinformation and misinformation, harmful lies that made people scared that the vaccine was more dangerous than the virus, and families sitting around the bedside of a loved one who was dying from COVID saying, oh my God, I wish he'd just taken the vaccine. I wish he hadn't listened to all those YouTube channels. Like, this is real. There were real tragedies, and there were people trying to gin that up and to expand the divisions and the fear and sense of conspiracy that were out there.
Before we let him continue, I just have to note here that people were weighing in the risk-reward benefit of having a medical procedure or not. And well, we had a government that was obfuscating the truth. We didn't want to let people know that it was it was essentially a trial. It was essentially a trial. And I think, well, we all know the Hippocratic Oath is at first do no harm. And informed consent. The whole idea of informed consent was thrown out the window with his government here, and pushing people, coercing people into a medical procedure, whether they were informed well enough at all. And most people would say that there was not enough information on it to push people that hard into it. And well, we all agree that, well, people should have the choice in the matter, not to be coerced into it. So I think a lot of the fear around that was this. If there were some people saying things that were falsehoods, I mean, that's that. But I don't believe that was the case. I believe that most people were saying, hey, people should be able to weigh the risk and reward benefit here on their own without the government coming in. And, well, where did the misinformation end up coming from? Well, let's let him continue here.
We had, as a government, always and will always be extremely patient with people who are hesitant about getting a vaccine or whatever. But those people who were
patient. This is his idea of patience.
You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk. We need to be strong in the decisions we're taking going forward, and we need to put people first.
So his decisions from there were actually to limit the traveling, the ability to travel within our own country. Probably one of the only places in the world that did that. Even in the continental United States, there were restrictions at the border, but there wasn't restrictions between states. In Canada, they limited travel on anything that was regulated by the federal government, i.e. trains, planes, all of that. You could travel if you took your own automobile, but this is a thing that they put in place. So yes, this is the patience that they had for people who wanted to make their own choices and do it in their own, capacity to make those choices. No, people were coerced into a thing here. And I gotta watch what I say because, because of the who runs the website here, but I know I can say that people were coerced into this procedure, and he's not being exactly truthful here.
Actively putting people's lives in danger by spreading falsehoods around science that will help and heal and save people and save our economy and save lives and save our institutions. Those people, and they were a small minority within the larger anti-movements who were really vocal. I don't and I won't apologize for calling out people who were harming their fellow Canadians.
So Tinfoil Hats comment you don't regret?
Well, when someone...
Again, so going with the words of small, fringe group, tiny minority of people saying a thing. Well, it wasn't a small group of people saying a thing. What he's doing is he's obfuscating two different things. He's obfuscating the people who have really, like, and I'd say that these ideas are crazy too. Like there's microchips in the shots, but that's not true. And a majority of people don't believe that. But he's equating those people with that, and this is how you sow the seeds of division amongst people, is by equating certain people with people that hardly even exist out there.
Believes that your government is trying to inject a vaccine in you to control your mind and track you, and there's a microchip in it. That's almost the definition of a government conspiracy theory, that you wear a tinfoil hat to protect your brain from brainwaves. When people fall into conspiracy theories, we need to call them out on that.
We know
protecting your brain from brainwaves. He really needs to protect his own brain from his own brainwaves, I'd say. But this is the difference here. So Trudeau was called out by this reporter, this interviewer, for this particular thing that he had to say here.
So yes, the concerns expressed by a few people gathered in Ottawa right now are not new, not surprising, are heard, but are a continuation of what we've unfortunately seen in disinformation and misinformation online, conspiracy theorists about microchips, about God knows what else that go with the tinfoil hats. We have been clear every step of the way.
So they go with the tinfoil hats. A few people in Ottawa. It's more than a few people in Ottawa. I think we've all concluded that to be the truth. But this is Trudeau trying to walk back his own words. He hasn't been honest about these things. And well, he doesn't even want to be honest about what he said on a French television show here. And well, we'll go over this again because these are the words that he said.
Oui, on va s'en sortir de cette pandémie par la
I'll
vaccination.
turn this down for there's not a lot of French speakers probably that watch the channel, so let's go over this. Yes, we will get out of this pandemic by vaccination. We all know that who the people who are the little bit hesitant. We can try to continue. Sorry, it goes a little quick here. We will try to continue. We will continue to try to convince them. But there are also people who are fiercely against vaccination. They are extremists. They don't believe in science. They often misogynists. They're often racists. Jeez. It's a small group that muscles in. Now, the words that he uses here are actually qui prend de la place. They take up space, he says. Does that sound familiar? And we have to make a choice in terms of leaders, in terms of this country. Do we tolerate these people? Or do we say, hey, most people in Quebec are 80% vaccinated? We want to come back to things. Anyway, do you want to go back to the way things are? These people, they take up space. They're misogynists. They're racists, he says. And these are his words. These are the words that he had to say when it came to people who didn't follow his particular protocol. And then he was asked about it at the inquiry specifically by Eva Chipiuk here in this clip. And he just, again, deny the things that he actually said.
A number of people have testified in this inquiry referencing your widely published comments and calling the unvaccinated racists and misogynists. And we have heard testimony in this inquiry about how some of your officials wanted to label protesters as terrorists. Would you agree with me that one of the most important roles of a prime minister is to unite Canadians and not divide them by engaging in name calling?
I did not call people who were unvaccinated names.
Well, we just saw that you did.
I highlighted there's a difference between people who are hesitant to get vaccinated for any range of reasons and people who deliberately spread misinformation that puts at risk the life and health of their fellow Canadians. And my focus every step of the way, and the primary responsibility of a prime minister, is to keep Canadians safe and alive.
Well, I disagree with that. I don't think that's the primary goal, is to intervene in their medical decisions. I don't think that that's the role of the Prime Minister of Canada. I believe, it would be safety from external threats from outside or something like that, or maybe protecting people from a hurricane or giving them aid when that happens. Well, it was a total failure this past year when it came to that. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. What kind of walk back is this? I mean, it's a total situation of him gaslighting everybody into thinking that, oh no, I wasn't talking about everybody in that category. I was only talking about a few people in a subcategory that wasn't that actual category, and equating them with everybody in that actual category. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It lets you know when I go live. I go live every Friday at 6:30 Pacific time, but there's always the odd live stream that pops up here and there. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.